I'm standing in my own driveway at midnight on Valentine's Day, my suitcase at my feet, watching my son lock the door of the house I bought 30 years ago. The porch light goes dark. My hands are shaking, but not from the February cold cutting through Boston streets. They're shaking because 20 minutes ago, my son told me I was worthless, that I had destroyed everything, that I was now his burden. What he doesn't know is that while he was screaming at me about my failed company, calling me a financial disaster, I had just received a text message that would change everything. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I tell you what happened next, I need you to do something for me. Leave a comment below and tell me where you're watching this from. Are you in a warm place tonight? Are you safe? Because what I'm about to tell you will make you question everyone around you, especially the people you trust most. My name is Margaret Whitmore. I'm 62 years old, and until 6 hours ago, I thought I had built a life that mattered. I live in Brookline, Massachusetts, in a Victorian home that has been in my name since 1995. I'm a widow. My husband Thomas died from a heart attack 12 years ago, leaving me with a commercial real estate company, 3 properties in downtown Boston, and our only child, Daniel. Danny, my boy. Or at least, that's what I used to call him. For the past 40 years, I worked in real estate development. I started as an assistant, worked my way to project manager, and eventually bought out my partners to run Whitmore Properties alone. We specialized in converting old warehouses into luxury condos. The company was my identity. Every morning, I woke up at 5:30, reviewed contracts, met with architects, negotiated with city planners. I loved the challenge. I loved building something from nothing. Danny is 34 now. He got his MBA from Boston University 5 years ago and joined my company as VP of Operations. I was proud. My son, working alongside me, learning the business that would one day be his. He married a woman named Vanessa 3 years ago. She's elegant, polished, always dressed like she's about to attend a charity gala. She worked in marketing for a pharmaceutical company, but quit after their wedding. Said she wanted to focus on family. They live in my house. The entire second floor is theirs. I never charged them rent. Why would I? He's my son. But sometime around December, things started changing. Danny began asking questions about the company's finances. At first, it seemed natural. He was VP, after all. He wanted to understand cash flow, profit margins, debt ratios. But then the questions became more pointed, more aggressive. Mom, why did you refinance the Seaport property? Mom, why are we carrying so much debt? Mom, did you really need to hire 3 new contractors? I explained everything. Real estate development is cyclical. You invest heavily during construction, then recoup during sales. We had 2 major projects finishing in spring. The revenue was coming. But Danny didn't seem satisfied. He started having private conversations with Vanessa. I'd walk into the kitchen and they'd stop talking. I'd hear my name whispered late at night through the walls. Then, 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, a man approached me outside my office building. He was in his 50s, wearing a gray suit, carrying a leather folder. Mrs. Whitmore, he said, my name is Gerald Kim. I'm a private investigator. You don't know me, but I need to talk to you about your son. My stomach dropped. Is Danny in trouble? No, he said carefully, but I believe you might be. Can we speak somewhere private? We went to a coffee shop 3 blocks away. Gerald opened his folder and showed me a series of printed emails and text messages. They were between Danny and someone named Marcus Chen, an attorney who specialized in estate planning and elder law. The messages were dated from November through January. In them, Danny discussed strategies for taking control of my company. Terms like diminished capacity, power of attorney, and conservatorship appeared repeatedly. There were references to my age, my stress levels, my occasional forgetfulness. Danny had been building a case to declare me mentally unfit to run my own business. Where did you get these? I asked, my voice barely steady. Marcus Chen is my brother-in-law, Gerald said. He came to me last week, uncomfortable with what your son was asking him to do. He thought you should know. I read through every page. There were emails discussing how to document my supposed mistakes, how to gather evidence of poor decision-making, how to approach a judge. Danny had even contacted my doctor, Dr. Patel, asking about early signs of dementia. Dr. Patel had refused to discuss my medical information, but the fact that Danny had tried made my blood run cold. "Why would he do this?" I whispered. Gerald closed the folder. "In my experience, Mrs. Whitmore, it's usually about money. Your company is worth millions. Your properties alone are probably valued at 15 to 20 million in today's market. If your son gains control through conservatorship, he'd manage everything. You'd have an allowance. He'd make all financial decisions." I felt sick. But the company is struggling right now. We're in a construction phase. We're cash poor until spring. Does your son know that? I thought about all those questions Danny had been asking. About debt, about refinancing, about why I seemed stressed. I tried to explain it to him, but he doesn't understand development cycles. He thinks debt means failure. Gerald leaned forward. "Mrs. Whitmore, I need to ask you something important. Do you have any assets your son doesn't know about?" I hesitated. Then I nodded slowly. "Yes. One." The truth was, I had been preparing for retirement. 6 months ago, I quietly sold a small industrial property in Cambridge that I'd owned personally, separate from the company. The sale netted me $8 million after taxes. I hadn't told Danny because I wanted to surprise him. The plan was to transfer the company to him in spring, after our current projects finished, and retire with that money as my nest egg. I was going to announce it at his 35th birthday party in March. But after seeing those emails, I made a decision. I transferred the $8 million into an offshore trust account in the Cayman Islands, accessible only to me. I hired my own attorney, a woman named Patricia Rothstein, who specialized in asset protection. I prepared for war. Gerald advised me to act normal. Don't let him know you're aware of his plans. Document everything. Record conversations if Massachusetts law allows it. Build your own case. For 2 weeks, I played along. I acted tired. I made a few deliberate small mistakes at work, nothing major. Just enough to make Danny feel confident in his narrative. I left documents on my desk about the company's debt. I sighed heavily during meetings. I even pretended to forget an appointment. Danny took the bait. He and Vanessa became more emboldened. They started talking openly in front of me about helping me, about how I was working too hard, how I should consider stepping back. Vanessa even suggested I see a therapist for stress. "At your age, Mom," she said sweetly, "you really need to take care of yourself." I recorded everything. Then came Valentine's Day. I made dinner for the 3 of us, pot roast, Danny's favorite since he was a child. We ate in the dining room, the table set with the good china. Vanessa complimented my cooking but barely touched her food. Danny seemed distracted, checking his phone constantly. After dinner, I brought out dessert, chocolate cake. As I was cutting slices, Danny cleared his throat. "Mom, Vanessa and I need to talk to you about something serious." I set down the knife. "Of course, sweetheart. What is it?" He exchanged a glance with Vanessa. She nodded encouragingly. "Mom, we've been really worried about you. About the company. About your health." "My health is fine," I said carefully. "Is it though?" Vanessa interjected. "You've been so forgetful lately, and the company is falling apart. We've seen the numbers, Margaret. The debt is overwhelming." Danny reached across the table, but I pulled my hand back. "Mom, we love you, but we think it's time you step down. Let me take over the company. You can retire, relax, enjoy your golden years." "And if I don't want to retire?" His expression hardened. "Then we'll have to take steps to protect you from yourself. We've already consulted with an attorney. We have documentation of your declining capacity. We can file for conservatorship if necessary." The mask had finally dropped. I looked at my son, this man I had raised, and saw a stranger. "You want to take my company?" "I want to save it," he snapped. You're running it into the ground. You're too old, too stubborn, and too proud to admit you can't handle it anymore. Danny, the company is fine. We're in a development phase. The company is bankrupt, he shouted, standing up. I've seen the accounts. We're 3 months from insolvency. You've destroyed everything Dad built. Everything I was supposed to inherit. Your father and I built that company together, I said, my voice shaking. And I've been protecting it for you. Protecting it? Vanessa laughed. You've been hoarding it. You won't retire. You won't let Danny run things. You won't even admit you're failing. Well, guess what? We're not asking anymore. Danny pulled out a folder from his briefcase. I've already filed the paperwork. We have a court date next week. Dr. Patel will testify about your stress levels. Marcus Chen has documented your erratic business decisions. It's over, Mom. My heart was pounding, but I kept my face neutral. I see. And what happens to me? You'll live here, of course, Danny said, as if he were being generous. You'll have a monthly allowance. We'll take care of you. But the company transfers to me, the properties, the accounts, everything. And if I fight this? His eyes went cold. Then we'll make sure everyone knows how far you've fallen. Failed businesswoman, can't even manage her own finances, desperately clinging to a sinking ship. Is that how you want to be remembered? I stood up slowly. You know what's funny, Danny? I actually came to dinner tonight planning to tell you something. I was going to wait until dessert, make it special, but I think now is the perfect time. Mom, 6 months ago, I sold the Cambridge property. Do you remember that little industrial building on Hampshire Street? The one I bought in 1998 for $400,000. Danny's expression shifted to confusion. You sold it? I did, for $8 million. I let that number hang in the air. After taxes, I netted almost $6 million. I was planning to transfer the company to you this spring and retire with that money. I was going to announce it at your birthday party. Vanessa's eyes widened. You have $6 million? Had, I corrected. Past tense. Because 2 weeks ago, a private investigator showed me emails between my son and an attorney named Marcus Chen. Emails discussing how to have me declared mentally incompetent, how to take control of my assets, how to put me on an allowance in my own house. Danny's face went pale. Mom, I can explain. So I moved that money, I continued, my voice steady now, into a trust account you can't touch. I hired an attorney. I've recorded our conversations for the past 2 weeks, including this one. And that court date you mentioned? I'll be there with my own legal team, presenting evidence of financial elder abuse and attempted fraud. The room went silent. Danny stared at me, his mouth opening and closing like a fish. Vanessa looked between us, calculating her next move. Then Danny's shock turned to rage. You had $8 million, and you didn't tell me? Why would I tell you? So you could take it? I'm your son. That money should be mine. That money is mine, I said firmly. I earned it, and I was going to give you the company, Danny. All of it. I was ready to retire and let you build your own legacy. But instead, you tried to steal it from me. He lunged forward, grabbing my arm. You manipulative bitch, you were testing me? Let go of me. All this time, pretending to be weak, pretending to forget things. I said, let go. He shoved me backward. I stumbled into the china cabinet, plates crashing to the floor. Vanessa screamed, but not at Danny. She screamed at me. You ruined everything. We needed that money. Do you know how much debt we have? Danny's student loans, the credit cards, the car payments? That's not my problem, I said, pushing myself up from the broken china. Danny was pacing now, his hands in his hair. You can't do this. That company is mine. You're going to die soon anyway. Why can't you just give it to me now? The words hit me like a physical blow. Get out. What? Get out of my house, both of you, tonight. This is my house too, Danny shouted. No, it's not. It's my house. My name is on the deed and I want you out, now. Vanessa grabbed Danny's arm. "Baby, we can't leave. Where would we go?" "I don't care where you go," I said, "but you have 1 hour to pack your things and get out, or I'm calling the police." Danny's face twisted with fury. "Fine, fine, but you're going to regret this. You think you're so smart, hiding your money? We'll sue you for everything. Emotional distress, breach of promise, elder abuse." "Elder abuse?" I laughed bitterly. "You just assaulted me, Daniel, in my own home. I have bruises forming on my arm where you grabbed me. I have witnesses." I pulled out my phone, where I'd been recording everything since dinner started. "And I have this conversation saved in 3 different cloud locations." His face went white. "You have 59 minutes, I said quietly. "Starting now." They packed in furious silence. I stood in the hallway, arms crossed, watching them carry boxes and suitcases down the stairs. Vanessa was crying, mascara running down her face, hissing poison at me every time she passed. Danny wouldn't look at me at all. When they finally left, slamming the door behind them, I locked it, bolted it. Then I sank to the floor in the empty hallway and let myself cry for the first time in weeks. But I couldn't rest yet, because 30 minutes after they left, I received a text from an unknown number. "Warehouse on fire, Seaport project. Come now." My blood ran cold. The Seaport property was our biggest project, months from completion, worth $12 million if something happened to it. I drove to the waterfront in my car, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles went white. When I arrived, I saw smoke billowing from the construction site, fire trucks already on scene, police cars blocking the street. I parked illegally and ran toward the building. A police officer stopped me. "Ma'am, you can't go any closer. That's my property. My company built that." "Are you Margaret Whitmore?" "Yes." He radioed someone, then led me to a fire chief and a detective. The detective introduced himself as Detective Raymond Ortiz. "Mrs. Whitmore, we need to ask you some questions. This fire wasn't accidental." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "Someone poured accelerant on the ground floor and lit it. Security cameras caught a man and woman entering the site at 11:15 p.m. We're reviewing the footage now." I already knew. "Show me the video." They pulled it up on a laptop in one of the squad cars. The timestamp read 11:17 p.m. 2 figures appeared on screen, moving quickly through the construction site. The man was carrying a red gas can. The woman held a lighter. Even in the grainy footage, I recognized them. Danny and Vanessa. "That's my son," I whispered. "And his wife." Detective Ortiz looked at me carefully. "Your son did this?" I nodded, tears streaming down my face. "I kicked them out of my house 2 hours ago. They must have come here to destroy the project, to hurt me financially." "Why would they do that?" I told him everything. The conservatorship plan, the hidden money, the confrontation at dinner. I showed him the recorded conversation on my phone. I gave him Gerald Kim's contact information and Marcus Chen's emails. By midnight, police had Danny and Vanessa's location from cell tower data. They were at a hotel in Cambridge. Officers arrested them at 1 a.m. Both were charged with arson, attempted insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit elder abuse, and assault. The fire damage was extensive but not total. Insurance covered most of it, and we were able to salvage the structure. But the emotional damage was irreparable. The trial took place in June. I sat in the courtroom every day, watching my son and his wife try to justify what they'd done. Their attorney argued that Danny had acted out of desperation, that he'd been trying to save the family business, that the fire was meant to trigger insurance money to pay off company debt. But the prosecution presented our recorded conversation, the conservatorship documents, the security footage, and testimony from Dr. Patel, who confirmed Danny had tried to manipulate him into diagnosing me with dementia. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Danny was convicted of arson, conspiracy to commit fraud, and assault. He received 8 years in prison. Vanessa, who had been the one to actually light the fire, got 12 years. I didn't feel victorious. I felt hollow. After the trial, I went back to work. I finished the Seaport project. It sold for $14 million in September. The company became profitable again, exactly as I'd predicted. But there was no one to share it with. I hired a new VP, a woman named Lisa Chen, who actually understood real estate development and didn't try to have me declared incompetent. I promoted 3 of my longtime employees. I donated $500,000 to an organization that helps prevent elder financial abuse. And I changed my will. The company will be sold when I die, with proceeds going to charity. Danny will receive nothing. Not because I'm vindictive, but because I can't trust him. I can't forgive what he tried to do. Sometimes I visit him in prison, not often, maybe twice a year. He never apologizes. He still thinks he was justified, that I was hoarding wealth that should have been his, that I should have just handed everything over because he's my son. But inheritance isn't a right, it's a privilege. And he destroyed that privilege the moment he chose greed over love. I'm 63 now. I still run my company. I still wake up at 5:30 every morning. I still love the challenge of building something from nothing. And I've built a new life, one without betrayal at its center. If you're watching this and you're an older person with assets, please protect yourself. Don't assume your family has your best interests at heart. Get a good attorney. Keep your financial information private. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong. And if you're a younger person expecting an inheritance, remember this: your parents earned that money. They owe you nothing except love and guidance. Everything else is a gift. Don't let greed turn you into someone who would destroy the person who gave you life. I lost my son on Valentine's Day. Not to death, but to something worse. To greed, to entitlement, to the belief that he deserved my life's work simply because he was born. But I didn't lose myself. I'm still here, still building, still standing. And I'm done being anyone's victim. That secret I was hiding. It wasn't just $8 million. It was my strength, my refusal to be diminished, my willingness to fight for what I built. Danny thought finding out about my failed company gave him power over me. What he didn't know was that I had already won, because I'd learned the most important lesson anyone can learn. Sometimes the people who should protect you are the ones you need protection from, and I protected myself. It's May now, and Boston is finally shaking off winter's grip. I'm sitting in my office on the 14th floor, overlooking the harbor where the Seaport project stands completed. The building that Danny tried to burn down is now a luxury residential complex with a waiting list of buyers. The irony isn't lost on me. Patricia Rothstein, my attorney, sits across from my desk with a folder thick enough to stop a bullet. She's been with me through everything: the arrests, the trial, the endless depositions. Today, she's here with news I've been waiting for. The appeals were denied, she says, sliding the documents across my desk. Both of them. Danny's sentence stands at 8 years, Vanessa's at 12. Their legal options are essentially exhausted. I nod slowly, feeling nothing where I expected to feel something. Relief? Sadness? I don't know anymore. What about the civil suit? Dismissed with prejudice. The judge ruled that given their criminal convictions, they have no standing to sue you for emotional distress or breach of promise. In fact, Patricia allows herself a small smile. The judge added a note that their claims were frivolous and potentially sanctionable. Good, I say quietly. Patricia leans forward. Margaret, there's something else. I received a call from Danny's prison counselor. He's requesting a meeting with you. Family therapy, they call it. It's voluntary, and you have every right to refuse. My stomach tightens. What does he want? According to the counselor, Danny says he's ready to talk. Really talk. But she raises a hand before I can respond. I need you to understand something. Prison rehabilitation programs encourage inmates to reach out to victims as part of their healing process. Sometimes it's genuine. Sometimes it's manipulation. You don't owe him anything. I turn my chair to look out at the harbor. 3 months ago, I stood in my driveway, watching my son lock me out of my own house. 3 months ago, I drove through the night to find my life's work burning. 3 months ago, I believed my family was unsalvageable. I still believe that. Tell them no, I say. I'm not ready. Maybe I never will be. Patricia nods, understanding in her eyes. I'll let them know. Now, on a brighter note, the Cambridge Street property closed yesterday. Your buyers were very happy with the renovations. This is my new project. After the trial, I bought a small apartment building in Cambridge that needed work. Nothing fancy, just a solid investment. But more than that, it gave me something to focus on besides the wreckage of my family. And your accountant called, Patricia continues. The quarterly reports are excellent. Whitmore Properties is now completely debt-free and showing a profit margin of 18%. Your new VP, Lisa, is apparently a miracle worker. She understands the business, I say. That's all it takes, vision and patience. Patricia closes her folder. Margaret, I have to ask, how are you doing? Really doing? I consider the question. How am I doing? I wake up every morning in a house that's too big for one person. I eat breakfast alone. I go to work and throw myself into projects with an intensity that worries my employees. I come home to silence. On weekends, I garden or read or drive to the Cape and walk on the beach for hours. I'm lonely, but I'm not alone. There's a difference. I'm surviving, I tell her honestly. Some days are harder than others. Mother's Day was difficult. I kept thinking about when Danny was little, before everything got complicated, before money mattered more than love. That's normal, Patricia says gently. Grief isn't just for death. You're grieving the relationship you thought you had. I called his prison last week, I admit. I didn't speak to him. I just wanted to know if he was okay. They said he's in good health, attending classes, working in the prison library. I laugh bitterly. My son, the arsonist librarian. Patricia doesn't laugh. Margaret, I'm going to say something as your friend, not your attorney. You're allowed to still love him. Loving someone doesn't mean accepting what they did. It doesn't mean forgiveness is required or even possible. You can hold both truths at once, that he's your son and that he tried to destroy you. Tears burn my eyes, but I blink them back. I keep replaying that night, wondering if I could have done something differently, if I'd just given him the company earlier, before he got desperate. Stop, Patricia interrupts firmly. Don't do that to yourself. Danny made his choices. He had opportunities to talk to you, to ask for help, to be honest about his financial struggles. Instead, he chose deception, manipulation, and violence. That's on him, not you. I know she's right. Intellectually, I know. But the mother in me still aches. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Gerald Kim, the private investigator who first warned me. We've stayed in touch these past months. He's become something like a friend. The text reads, "Coffee tomorrow. I have information you should see." I show Patricia, and her expression shifts to concern. What now? I don't know, but Gerald doesn't reach out unless it's important. The next morning, I meet Gerald at the same coffee shop where he first showed me those devastating emails. He's already there when I arrive, 2 cups on the table, that familiar leather folder in front of him. "Margaret," he says, standing to greet me, "thank you for coming. Your text sounded ominous." "It's not bad news," he assures me, waiting until I sit. "But it's complicated. I've been doing some follow-up investigation on Danny and Vanessa's finances, trying to understand what drove them to such desperation. They had debt. Vanessa told me that night. Student loans, credit cards, car payments. They did have debt, Gerald confirms, about $200,000 between them, significant but not insurmountable for 2 educated professionals. But that's not the whole story. He opens his folder. 3 years ago, shortly after they got married, Vanessa convinced Danny to invest in a cryptocurrency venture. A friend of hers was promoting it. They put in $50,000, money Danny borrowed against his future inheritance from you. My blood runs cold. He took out a loan against an inheritance he didn't have. With Vanessa's encouragement? Yes. The cryptocurrency was a scam. They lost everything. But here's where it gets darker. Gerald pulls out bank statements. For the past 2 years, Vanessa has been gambling. Online poker, sports betting, casino trips to Connecticut. She's lost nearly $300,000. $300,000? How is that even possible? Credit cards, personal loans, borrowing from her family. Danny didn't know the full extent until about 6 months ago. When he found out, he panicked. That's when he started researching conservatorship. He wasn't just trying to take your company, he was trying to solve a crisis that Vanessa had created. I stare at the documents, my mind reeling. Does Danny know you're telling me this? No, and I'm not sure he'd want you to know. In his mind, he's probably protecting Vanessa. But you deserve the truth. Your son made terrible choices, but he was under enormous pressure from a spouse with a serious addiction. That doesn't excuse what he did. No, Gerald agrees. It doesn't. But it might explain it. Context isn't the same as justification, but sometimes understanding why helps with the how of moving forward. I think about Vanessa's face that night, her mascara running, her desperation palpable. I thought she was angry about losing access to my money, but maybe she was terrified about her own debts catching up to her. What happens now? I ask. That's up to you. This information could potentially help Danny's case if he ever seeks early parole. Demonstrating that he was under duress, coerced by a spouse with addiction issues, it's a mitigating factor. But again, that's only if you choose to help him. I take the folder, feeling its weight. I need time to think. Of course, Margaret, there's one more thing. Gerald's expression softens. My brother-in-law, Marcus Chen, the attorney who showed me those emails, he wanted me to tell you something. He's donated his entire fee from Danny to an elder abuse prevention charity. He feels tremendous guilt for even entertaining Danny's requests. He wanted you to know he's sorry. Tell him I appreciate that, I say quietly. That afternoon, I do something I haven't done in months. I drive to Wellesley, to the cemetery where Thomas is buried. I bring fresh flowers, tulips, his favorite. I sit on the grass beside his headstone and tell him everything. I don't know what to do, Tom, I whisper. Our boy is in prison. He tried to take everything from me, but he's still our boy. And now I find out he was drowning, and I didn't see it. Was I so focused on the business that I missed the signs? The wind rustles through the trees. No answers come. I thought I was doing the right thing, keeping the company strong for him, building something he could inherit. But maybe that was the problem. Maybe he felt entitled to it before he'd earned it. Maybe I should have made him struggle more, build his own way. I stay there for an hour, talking to a man who can't answer, seeking wisdom from someone who always knew what to say when he was alive. When I finally leave, I don't feel better, but I feel less alone. That night, I make a decision. I call Patricia. I want to set up a trust, I tell her, for Danny, not accessible until he's released from prison and completed 5 years of probation. The trust will provide for his basic needs, housing, food, healthcare, but nothing extravagant, and it comes with conditions. What kind of conditions? He has to complete addiction counseling, even though he's not the one with the gambling problem. He has to attend financial literacy classes. He has to work a regular job and provide for himself before he can access anything beyond basic support. And most importantly, he has to write me a letter, not asking for anything, not making excuses, just acknowledging what he did and why it was wrong. Patricia is quiet for a moment. That's very generous, Margaret. Some might say too generous. Maybe, but I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for me. Because I need to know that I didn't give up on my son completely. That even after everything, I left a door open, even if it's just a crack. I'll draft the documents, Patricia says. But Margaret, don't expect gratitude. People in Danny's situation rarely appreciate help until much later, if ever. I know, but that's okay. This isn't about him thanking me. It's about me being able to live with myself. The trust is established by the end of May. Danny won't know about it until his release, which won't be for at least 6 years with good behavior. By then, I'll be nearly 70. The thought is both terrifying and liberating. I spend June reorganizing my life. I hire an interior designer to renovate the second floor of my house, turning Danny and Vanessa's old space into a home office and a library. I erase the physical traces of their presence. It's not about revenge, it's about reclaiming my space. I also start volunteering twice a week at a senior center in Dorchester, teaching a class on financial literacy for older adults. I talk about protecting assets, recognizing warning signs of elder abuse, and maintaining independence. The class is packed every session. Apparently, my story has resonated with more people than I realized. One woman, a 70-year-old named Ruth, stays after class one evening. "My daughter keeps pressuring me to add her name to my bank accounts," she confides. "She says it's just in case of emergencies, but after hearing your story, I'm not sure I should." "Trust your instincts," I tell her. "If something feels wrong, it probably is. There are legal ways to prepare for emergencies that don't require giving up control of your accounts." Ruth tears up. "Thank you. I felt so guilty for doubting her, like I was a bad mother." "You're not a bad mother for protecting yourself," I assure her. "You're a smart woman making careful decisions. That's something to be proud of." As Ruth leaves, I realize something profound. My pain has purpose. My experience, as devastating as it was, can help others avoid the same fate. That doesn't erase what happened, but it transforms it into something meaningful. By July, I'm sleeping better. The nightmares have faded. I no longer jump every time my phone rings, expecting bad news. I've started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee with a retired architect I met at a fundraiser. His name is Robert. He's kind, funny, and has no interest in my money. We talk about books and travel and the Red Sox. It's nice, uncomplicated. Life goes on. That's what I've learned. Even after betrayal, even after heartbreak, life insists on continuing. And you can either let it drag you forward or you can choose to walk with purpose. I choose purpose. I choose to build new things, to help others, to protect what's mine while remaining open to connection, to love cautiously but not cynically. And I choose to remember that Valentine's Day, not as the day my son destroyed our relationship, but as the day I discovered my own strength. I'm Margaret Whitmore. I'm 63 years old. I survived my son's betrayal, and I'm still here, still standing, still building. That's enough.